I remember walking into my salon one Monday morning, coffee in hand, thinking, all right, let's crush this week. And then it started. The washer broke down, a stylist called in sick, and an upset client wanted to speak to the owner. And by noon, my entire to do list had exploded, and not in a good way. I was running around doing everything, but I wasn't actually moving anything forward. If you've ever had a week like that, where you worked your tail off and still ended up wondering what you actually accomplished, stick with me. Because today I'm going to show you a system that saved my sanity as a salon owner and helped me become the actual CEO of my business, not just the top firefighter. So, when I stepped out from behind the chair, I had a moment of total identity crisis because for so long I knew who I was. I was a booked and busy stylist, but now I wasn't servicing clients. So, what was I doing? What did it even mean to be a salon CEO? So, I started showing up every day, hoping for direction. I was waiting for someone to tell me what to focus on, but I was that someone. So, that's when I hit a wall. And that wall forced me to build something better. So I want to show you this. This is the quadrant that we want to talk about first. So this is urgent. And this is when we're thinking about creating our to do list, if you will, for the week. So that top left section is going to be urgent and important. And this is what we call the do section on this quadrant. And then the top right section is, you guessed it, not urgent, but it's still important. So this is what we call the plan section. And then in our bottom left corner, this is the urgent and not important. So we go from important to not important. You might have to imagine that one saying not important. But this section is what we actually want to, well, actually, in the bottom right hand corner, the not urgent and not important. This we actually just want to go ahead and eliminate. Because sometimes our mind will serve us up something that doesn't actually help us. So if it's not urgent and it's not important, let's just go ahead and eliminate it. But that other section, we actually want to delegate. That's right, because this is urgent and not important. So we want to delegate that to somebody else. So here's what changed the game. I started organizing my week using this simple 4 quadrant method. So every task goes into one of these 4 categories. And here's the kicker: only the do and the plan boxes actually move your business forward. That's right. And this system helps you fight the lie that staying busy means you're being productive. Because the truth is, staying busy is often the enemy of success. Did you guys hear that? Let me say that again. Staying busy is often the enemy of success. It's true because it's easier to answer texts. It's easier to fix the towels and reorder products than it is to plan your next team hire or your next growth strategy. So that's why so many salon owners stay stuck. I want to talk to the part of you that knows you're meant for more, but feels like you're spinning your wheels. Because maybe you've been telling yourself, next week I'll figure it out. But next week turns into next month. Listen, I've been there. You're not lazy, you just don't have the system. But I will say this: the cost of putting off the hard, meaningful work is your dream slipping away one small decision at a time. And every time we choose busy work over needle moving work, we trade momentum for mediocrity. Whew, man. So here is how I do it every Sunday or Monday morning. I literally brain dump everything swirling into my head onto paper and then sort them into the quadrants. So, for example, under do, you would write, maybe it's you want to do mini interviews. So, schedule a time at your cosmetology school, go in and do that. Maybe it's that you want to review your weekly numbers. So put that in the do category. Then the next thing, you go to the plan. So maybe that's, you could even just list this all out and then plug it into the categories, which is what I actually do. It's super nice if you have an iPad. You can literally just circle the things. With the little circle button and then move them around. So if you change your mind about anything, no worries. You can literally change it. Everything is rearrangeable. So then in that second category, the plan category, this is maybe where you're going to put in next month's promo. This is maybe you're going to plan a hiring video. And then we get to that next category, which is delegate. So, maybe in this, you would put like social posts, like social media posts, um, ordering supplies. And then hopefully you have already a system in place for that. Somebody who can step into that full time and that's on their list. But, even making sure that somebody's delegating, like, let's say to an email or something, somebody asking for a donation, whatever it might be, come up with a system for that so that you're not working on, delegating those tasks all the time. They already are delegated to somebody, but something might come up that you can delegate. Then the next section is the eliminate section. And these are tasks that don't require any attention at all because they are not serving your top 3 goals. Because I schedule my do and plan blocks first in my calendar. Then I go through and do the rest if there's space. If there's not, they get moved or handed off. So now I'm going to let you in on a secret. So after years of testing and failing and refining, I've discovered that all the success you want in your salon comes down to 3 needle moving tasks. So if you do these, everything changes. So if you don't do them, you'll stay on the hamster wheel forever. So let me tell you what these core top 3 priorities are. Number 1 is attracting more clients. That's right. That's number 1. So, number 2, recruiting rock star team members. And then number 3 is that's right, teaching your team to sell with confidence, might I add. So, and these are the only 3 that matter at scale, period. Everything else should support or align with one of these 3 goals. So here's where things get fun and way easier. You don't actually have to do all of this manually. So set up automations like texting funnels using community. So, have a stylist to be text a keyword to get some sort of a freebie from your salon. So when you create lead magnets, you can use those for future hires. So like create a dress to impress guide, not express, or selling that doesn't feel sleazy. These are some great guides that a potential hire would love to receive from you, and you can create some automations. If you pre-schedule these nurturing content, think things like a drip email campaign or like you can DM somebody, with some sort of an automation. You can also schedule some social media posts. But that way, when you block out 1 to 2 hours per week, you're not starting from scratch. You're not showing what you're doing is you're actually showing up to serve warm leads who already feel connected to you. So, when I started structuring my days, it wasn't just for my business. It was also for my family because I wanted to be present at the dinner table. I wanted to be present at school events and I wanted to be there for bedtime. But without structure, I was either overworking or under delivering, really. And so now I know exactly what I need to do each week to keep the salon growing, and I know what not to do. And now I'm running my business instead of it running me. And that version of me, she gets to be a boss, a mom, and still make room for a tennis match or a spa day. So let's bring it all together. We've got our quadrant system. This really helps you manage your time. We've got our 3 priorities, which are attracting more clients, recruiting more rockstar team members, and teaching your team to sell with confidence. And then we also have our automations, which really help you buy back your time because you deserve to wake up on Monday knowing exactly what matters, what can wait, and what you can let go of entirely. Because the salon owners who win aren't the ones doing the most. They're the ones doing the right things week after week. So now you've got the blueprint. Step 1, create your quadrant. Step 2, identify your top 3 tasks. And step 3, automate what you can. Step 4, serve from your overflow. So drop a comment if you want a free downloadable version of this quadrant chart and the Salon CEO weekly planner I use. I'll send it right over. And if this hits home, share it with a salon friend who needs to stop spinning and start scaling. Thank you so much for tuning in.